morning, Internet.
I'm Emma Woelk, founder and explorer on TUI. I built and sold my companies to help entrepreneurs build digital sales without agencies. Now I ride my motorcycle around the world, sharing stories of marketing, sales, and AI.
Welcome to the next episode of my travel podcast. This week, I'm in Portugal, in Porto. And while I was doing my research, I was looking for an amazing AI consulting company. And I found a company, and very exceptional one. And I'm now very happy to speak with Kelwin from, yes, very welcome, from NILG.AI. And I'm very happy to talk today with you about AI and our future. So welcome.
Thank you for hosting me. I'm glad to be here.
Nice. Perhaps it would be very nice to understand a little bit more about your Vita, because when I saw your LinkedIn profile, I was very impressed, because most of the people go up onto the AI stack when ChatGPT came. But you was working before with AI, or?
Yeah, I started so I learned programming when I was a kid. So I was bored at college, okay? So when I discovered artificial intelligence, 16 years ago, I got an instant in love with AI because of the possibility of delegating stuff, of making machines do things for you at a very low cost in comparison with doing yourself or with programming. So since 16 years ago, I have been working with AI. At that time, I was making fun with my girlfriend, and now it's my wife, that I will never find a job in AI, right? Because at the time in
For sure.
At the time in Venezuela, that wasn't a thing, right? Web development, mobile development were a good place to land a job, but AI wasn't at the time. So it was a nice coincidence that I started working with AI so long ago. Yeah.
So it was a complete other time, yes?
Exactly.
So, and when did you finally saw, wow, there is something coming up, there is coming a change? When was this moment? When it was obvious for you?
Yeah, I guess 2015, 16, with the rise of deep learning.
Okay.
At that time, we already saw like a shorten of time to production, time to market for most AI solutions. And that was the first turning point when I said, like, this is something that you can sell out of the academia. It's not just something that you will spend 5 years to develop a product. You can build a product within a few months with deep learning, right? That was like 10 years ago. And then in 2000, of course, when ChatGPT arrived, it became much more democratized. Actually, when we started the company in 2018, we only targeted like large corps, because they were only the ones that had enough data to train AI models themselves. But now we are actually targeting small companies, very small companies actually, because those are the ones that most consulting companies live out of their reach, let's say, because the small companies don't have that much traction. But with generative AI nowadays, you don't need data, so you can actually apply AI in those companies, and the potential to uptick their reach, their revenue is much more massive than what you can achieve with one big corp on 3 years optimizing a single product, right? And so we are migrating from large companies to actually small companies.
Oh, wow. That's a nice change. I mean, this is the next level of digitalization, or not? Or how do you see that?
Yeah, I will say it's the next level. I think it's a new revolution, that's for sure. I believe it will have at least the same impact than electricity, computers, steam engine. Okay, so maybe, I don't know, I will say at the level of the electricity, because if it's a general purpose technology, you can apply it on each and every industry, right? So I believe it is at that scale. Yeah.
Ah, wow. What is the most common problem a small or medium company ask you to resolve with AI?
Sales.
Sales.
Yeah.
And what is the most common solution you are offering to them? I mean, sales is a big topic, so let's go more into detail.
Lead generation and follow-ups. It's basically, those are the two most common use cases. So how can I generate more leads and how can I close them faster? And then it comes into chatbots, it comes into generating follow-ups, it comes into doing research of potential leads. For small companies, that's the main thing. For large companies, typically it tends to be like micro optimizations throughout the process. Okay. But for small companies, it's all about surviving, right? And when you are in survival mode, it's how can you build a steady flow of leads that is predictable in the sense that you know the conversion rates, that you can measure it, that you can optimize it. And typically there it goes into marketing and sales. Marketing and sales are the two most common areas where small companies are implementing AI.
Okay, I understand. Do you have your own solution or are you working with data and combining solutions there already
we are
on the market?
Yeah, we are a service company, so we don't have our own platform. We have worked with so many clients that then it's easy to take, one automation, one model, that we do for someone and then repurpose it for a different one. So we are actually now working more on a model of automation as a service where we just come to your company, you give us the keys, and then we automate everything for you.
Okay.
From marketing, sales, and operations.
So yeah, for sure you can reuse all of the processes with AI you already did. In my kind of experience, the biggest challenge with working with small companies is always that they have no data. How you're resolving this problem?
Gen AI democratize this because now you don't need millions of data points. Maybe a few hundreds or thousands already give you a good starting point. Not to do the most fancy things, but at least some basic automations. And then even if they don't have data, they will have a CRM, right? Like maybe they don't have their operations fully digitized. Maybe they don't have much data about their marketing funnels, at least on the awareness stage, but they do have a CRM. Most of the companies have a CRM, and that will give them a lot of data about follow-ups, about who is engaging with what type of emails, who is clicking where. And even if you don't build custom models for them, you can still have nice triggers, nice interactions with the customer and contextual interactions for that specific lead, for that specific customer. That is why for small companies, it's mostly about sales. Maybe they don't have an ERP, but they already have a CRM.
Okay. If you have a client who is already using HubSpot, like a marketing automation platform with a CRM, if I'm looking to the roadmap, I see that HubSpot is step by step adding more AI features. Are you using these features or are you working in a different environment?
Typically, we're working externally for many reasons because contacts typically are omni-channel. They don't happen only on the CRM. So sometimes you need to bring external data there, and sometimes you have to bring data from the CRM to outside. But yeah, if the platform already have a AI like Salesforce AI, HubSpot as well, the less you need to build, so the more value you can bring, right, in the short term.
Oh, yes, absolutely, for sure. So you're working directly into the systems, and you are doing a kind of a consulting job.
Yeah, we structure their processes. So we audit all their processes. We check where are the bottlenecks, and how can we reframe those processes with AI to make them more efficient. That's the goal. And then we automate the solutions.
Yeah, that's nice, because I think that this is one of the most important thing you can help a small or medium business to bring process into their sales process. Because the most of the time they're like blindfolded a little bit, and they sitting onto data, they have no idea how to use them. And you are bringing light into the dark.
Exactly.
Okay, but there's something my community is always asking me. It's like, Emma, to be honest, I don't understand what AI really means. Because, we had data before, but what is the difference about building up data, putting an algorithm onto, and using a real AI? What is the difference?
So for me, AI equals predictions cheap predictions. And a prediction is just like a hunch, right? Like,
Okay.
I feel like this is going to happen. I
Okay.
feel like this is the right lead. I feel like this is the right message for this. So you need to think about the answers that AI is giving as a hunch to the information, to the context you have, right? But it's a very educated hunch,
Okay.
right? That tends to be true in most cases.
And yes, and it depends also onto the data you have. And
But in the end, it's just about predictions, and what you can do with educated hunches is make better decisions. So AI is just decision making at scale.
yeah, is it more like a trial and error system? I mean, making a prediction and see if it's true or not, and then you learn about this, or
Yeah, no. Sometimes I don't learn anything, but I'm just right 90% of the time, let's say, and then maybe you are not learning, but the fact that you are 90% of the time right, it already gives you a steady flow of leads. For example, that's what happened with sales, right? With sales, you are not constantly learning necessarily, but you are closing 10% of the time.
okay,
right?
yes,
So let's say AI, it's also okay only on 10% of the cases. That's okay, right? Because you already have a process that is not 100% accurate. Sometimes you miss the deal, sometimes you don't, right? So on these type of processes, typically AI is a good option. It's a good way of handling these processes. So the way so my train of thought, the way I make decisions, and it's like a lifestyle. I delegate all the decisions, okay? And I can delegate decisions in three ways. I can delegate decisions on the past, okay? For example, I always wear the same clothes, black t-shirt, blue jeans, brown shoes, okay?
Okay.
I always
like Mark Zuckerberg, yes?
exactly.
I think he's doing
Yeah, but I
that,
make like, for example, my breakfast is always the same. It's boiled eggs with bread, okay? And I always walk to work because I don't need to think about how much time do I need. I always need the same amount of time to go to work, okay? So I can delegate a decision on the past, which is I will make a decision only once and that's it. I can delegate the decision on other people, okay? And that's basically standard operating procedures, right? Or I can delegate the decision on AI. And that's basically what you're doing. You're just delegating decisions on a machine.
Oh, yeah, this is true. I mean, if we are looking to the mainstream way of AI, what for me is ChatGPT a little bit, because this brings it to everybody. Yes, I think until now, the most of the people understood that AI can look like ChatGPT, for example. And the most of them, they found like a new friend, not to take decisions, to ask a system to take a decision for you. So my question is now, are you using this also for your day-by-day decisions?
Yeah, I will say not so much for personal stuff.
Oh, okay.
But
why not? To ask you.
No, I ask personal stuff, but I don't make. Yeah, maybe I don't know. Maybe because I already delegated my personal decisions to other people. Okay.
But to people, not to machine, yeah?
To people, not to machines. Yes, but they use machines and they use AI for the.
Okay. Right. So they are putting into.
Because people are accountable. AIs are not, right? I like to have somebody involved in the process.
Okay. But did you generate your company with NILG.AI based on AI decisions? So it's really a true AI company that is built on AI decisions?
No. I started NILG.AI before AI could make those type of decisions. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So because you have to start somewhere, yes, and then you can take a decision.
Yeah. And typically, I only delegate decisions on AI that are supposed to scale. Okay. So if I need to make the decision, I don't know, 10 times, I won't delegate it to AI. But if I need to make the same decision 1,000 times, that's where you should use AI. Okay. If I only have to make it a handful of times, maybe that's the type of decisions I want to make.
Okay.
But if I need to decide, for example, when should I contact this lead? Today, or should I wait until Monday? That's the type of things that I want to delegate to AI. Because if I have, I don't know, 100, 500 leads per month, then it's 500 decisions I will need to make times 15 contacts. That's like 7,000 decisions.
So yeah, you also want to spend time with it, not always to make a ban asking Google for something. how do you think about this and developing? Because I think we will have in the future an energy problem or not when we are building up more data center.
How much fuel did old cars consume versus new cars? Old cars were draining gas, massively. Right nowadays, they are way more efficient. So I believe we will face the same thing with AI. Systems started being very complex and energy intensive, but then DeepSeek found a way of doing it by a tenth of the price, right? Or a tenth of the energy. And this cycle will start happening time after time until we make it more efficient, right? We don't really know the numbers, the actual numbers of how much does it cost to train AI models, etc., because most of these models are black boxes and the financials are black boxes.
Right? Oh, yeah.
There are some estimates. Training consumes a lot of energy. Training AI models is very intensive. Using them is not that much. Okay, you can basically run the inference, the predictions, the question at very low cost. Of course, it's higher than asking something to Google. But if I have my answer in 5 minutes instead of 3 days of work, I also spending less energy on my end. So that energy has also to be included.
Oh, right? Yes, for sure.
And then I found some statistics against everything based on hunches, not actual real data that people are actually computing end to end. But small decisions like taking a 1 minute longer shower every day is equivalent to 20 years of using ChatGPT.
Really?
Yeah. So at least on the usage part, right? The training part takes a lot of energy, but the usage, the inference part is not that intensive as people think. Okay. So generating one answer doesn't take that much time, that much energy. Especially not as much as other decisions that we can make, for example, as using a black t-shirt every day that drains a lot of water to have a t-shirt, right? So it's always a trade-off. It's based on what we are gaining from those decisions. I do believe they will be more efficient. I do believe the solution is not renewables or fossils. It's potentially nuclear. And we are seeing these patterns of small nuclear plants installed at the side of data centers just to supply that energy. I don't even know if the solution is on Earth. So maybe we will find energy in the outer space, right? And we will have the data centers. As long as you have fast communication from the air to the out. So the final solution is not what it will be, but it won't be as using the same infrastructure we're using now, right? We will have to decentralize energy if you want to have decentralized decisions.
Yes, this makes sense, perhaps, but it's a future project, I think so.
Yeah,
when we are coming to the point that we need more energy. And I'm always, I like to invest into stock market and everything. At the moment, I'm a little bit unsure if there are some nice electricity companies that are trying to solve these problems, because I am really sure that we are running into an electricity crisis. I mean, for example, I'm from Germany, and Germans, we stopped our atomic stuff. And
it was a bad choice, I think.
We are, regarding to AI and digitalization now, 100%.
France is much more in a better position because they embrace nuclear, right?
So perhaps in some years, we are trading electricity as a much higher price because it's really not that easy to get this amount of electricity. I mean, this data center, they are really consuming a lot of.
If you look at, this is not investment advice, right?
If you look, not investment advice.
If you look to the major increases on stock prices, they come from an unbalance on demand and supply, right? From shortages on demand or supply side, right? If you look at the huge raise on NVIDIA, it came from a shortage of chips for AI, right? So the big winner from the AI hype wasn't OpenAI or it was NVIDIA, right?
It was NVIDIA, yes. The stock was.
And I believe the next unbalance we will face is with energy.
Yes. Okay. I think the same, to be honest.
Okay.
So this is now a good moment to think about this.
Yeah. But this is not investment advice. Okay. But I believe energy will be the next bottleneck in terms of AI.
Yes. Yes. Probably it will be. I mean, a data center is consuming energies like cities. So, and we are now producing a lot of data centers. And NVIDIA, I mean, I'm really a big fan of NVIDIA, to be honest. I was it before also because I like building up gaming setups. And so when I bought graphic cards, first time in my life, they were cheap. But now the prices are going on. So all the gamers on the market, they're a little bit sad because, we are using it now. It's not only crypto, they are using it. This is another thing, yes? It's also...
Yeah, it's also very energy intensive.
Yes, energy intensive. So I think the future will be very energy intensive.
Yeah. But I believe machines will also become more efficient on managing this.
Yes, I think that's NVIDIA. They showed up like new supercomputers and it's getting more tiny and tiny. And
if you look, the trend is not at massive large language model. Actually, there is a new trend on having a specialized small language models, right? Which consume less energy, which you can run on your own computer, at least on the inference part. Training them from scratch is a different thing.
Okay. What is really interesting for me, like you as a professional, do you use ChatGPT or do you use Perplexity or every tool for a different set? Or do you have your own Llama installation or something?
I use proprietary solutions most of the time, unless it's very sensitive data, like medical stuff. Okay. In general, I use proprietary solutions like GPTs or Perplexity. It depends on the use case, right?
Yeah.
It depends on the use case. Why? Because when this trend started, we as everybody started like, let's fine tune this model to have a personal version of it that is custom made for my data. And then 3 months later, the new version of the ChatGPT, Gemini, whatever, call it, arrived. And then your model is completely outdated. And maybe it was a bit better and more efficient than the baseline version of GPT, but it's already much worse than the new version. So you need to fine tune again the new version. And then you're doing this like every 2 or every other month until you say, you know what, fuck it. let's just use the latest version. That's my opinion.
Okay.
Especially for small companies. Large companies is a different thing.
Yeah? Why that a different thing for you?
Because in 3 months you already pay out for that investment on training your own model. Right?
Okay. Yeah, for sure, because the impact is
if you are automating
way
1 trillion
bigger.
decisions, not 100, right?
Yes.
So if you look at it from a financial perspective, you have a better trade-off to train your own model because you are making 1 million decisions in the next 3 months.
Okay.
If you are only making a few thousand decisions on the next 3 months, maybe you use an off-the-shelf.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I had a nice conversation with a client some weeks ago. He asked me something I had no answer for. Perhaps you have it. So all the data we trained our actual AI systems are coming from human data we produced. But now we are stopping a little bit producing human data. So the future data are more results. There are like a mix about human and machine data.
Yes.
And perhaps in the future, we only will have machine data. So is there a possibility that prediction is getting more difficult?
Yeah. And there is a concept which is known as model collapse, which is when you start training the model with synthetic data, at some point it starts collapsing.
Okay.
And there is a potential risk for future versions of AI models. And there is an active line of research on trying to solve that. And if you look at the major acquisitions from AI companies, they are all around data, around human generated data, like Reddit, like Washington Post, like this type of data, like high quality data sources, right? So we will face a shortage of energy and a shortage of real life data.
Yes.
However, as you digitalize more processes, you also have a stronger feedback loop on what's working and what's not. Right? So I don't know which one will prevail. Model collapse because you are training with synthetic data, or a continuous improvement because you have a close feedback loops on what is working and what is not. because all processes will become digital.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. But do we have an actual approach to avoid this collapse? Or
not yet.
We are doing some research. We are doing research.
It's an open problem.
Okay. So yeah, the future will be very surprising, I think so, regarding to this.
Yeah. Even how language will evolve, right? Like 500 years ago, geographic barriers like rivers and mountains determine how we spoke, what words we use, right? Our accents. Even inside a small country like Portugal, if you go to the south or to the north, they speak with different with different words or with different accents, right? Because we had major physical barriers, right?
Yeah.
With social media, that started being more diluted, right? And now in Portugal, we use words from Brazil, same way the other way around, right? But now with AI, I believe the language will dilute, right? And we all will talk like the same type of words and language. And
yes. Because, for example, when I'm using Perplexity or ChatGPT, he is not using my location to find a way to use local.
And information spreads at a longer scale, right? And I believe language will also suffer some changes because of LLM. So our human language.
Yeah, and the most of the time, for example, I'm using ChatGPT in English because I recognized in myself that I get better results or different results because of the training data. Or why is it? Why I'm getting better results?
Yeah, it tends to be because of that. There is more English language content than Portuguese or German or Spanish. Yeah. It's mostly just because of that.
Okay. What about Portugal? When we're talking about Portugal and the Portuguese people here, how do you see AI regarding to or comparing to the United States, for example? Because the most of the time they're the first, and then it's coming to Europe.
Yeah.
So
Europe nowadays is about regulating stuff, right? It's not about creating or innovating.
Yes, I know.
Portugal follows that trend. There is one good aspect of Portugal of AI for Portugal, which is the Portuguese economy does not have scale, right? We are very fragmented, only small companies, family-owned companies, like 5, 6 people, they are all cousins, right? And while in other countries, you will face like massive layoff and, because of automation, Portugal is in a position where they could leverage AI to finally scale their economy. I don't think that is happening.
Okay.
But while in other countries, you will face like massive unemployment, right?
Yes.
Maybe Portugal has finally the opportunity to say, with my 10 people company, I can now do the work of 1,000 people company. Right.
Oh yeah, but there's also the CEO of NVIDIA. He told something very interesting. He told you will not lose your job because of AI. You will lose your job to other people. They are using AI in a better way than you. How do you think about this? I'm quite unsure how to think about this. And to make any kind of prediction. And ChatGPT gives me no answer to this.
That is also what my grandfather told his horse when he bought the first tractor, right? You won't lose your job for a tractor, but for a horse that knows how to use a tractor. There is a meme in the internet about that.
Okay.
I believe there will be jobs that will be lost, right? And people will need to reskill and to change their jobs. For example, a translator. We won't have a high demand for translation services in the future, right? Why would we need 1 million translators? We won't, right? So we can say that, and we can say that, and the CEO of NVIDIA says that because he wants to sell chips and not have a bad PR on his company. But of course, there will be jobs that will be lost. I mean, if we think about pre-electricity era, we had people that had to turn on candles on the street, right? That doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
We had people doing a massive amount of jobs that nowadays are unthinkable. Translation is one job that will be lost in the future, potentially.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not lost yet, just because the government asks you a stamp from an official translator for some documents, right?
Yeah.
Other than that, most of it could be automated nowadays. So we will have to put a halt on our ego and to reskill ourselves on new positions that will need to happen. That is happening to ourselves. So one of the first jobs that will be displaced is AI developer, right? So I had to accumulate a massive amount of knowledge to train convolutional neural networks, transformers, etc. And nowadays that is a commodity.
Okay.
Right. Nowadays you can call ChatGPT and it does all the natural language processing work.
Oh, yeah, for sure. You can do
Right.
this. And it's working better.
Yeah.
It's like on a very nice level.
So
I have clients, they are producing content. I mean, like on HTML, building up landing pages with ChatGPT.
Yeah, exactly. Now you don't need to hire an engineer for a lot of things, right? A software engineer. So we will need to reinvent most of our jobs, but we always had in the past as well with other revolutions, right? Of course, people that use AI will be able to do it better and faster than people that don't use it. But I do believe we will have a new job market in the future that will be completely different from today's.
Yes. I mean, at the moment, I made some research that around about 50 to 70% of the people, it's depending on the country and culture, are waking up, going into a car, driving around cities, finding parking places, going into office, pressing a power on button to type in data and to make really small predictions. And there is not that much intelligence. It's more a copy and paste we're doing. And I mean, this is like minimum the half of the people.
Yeah, it is. And
perhaps we humans, I see there also a chance, because why we should use the way what a machine can do so much better. Perhaps then there's more space for creativity or something.
And you can access new markets. You can access new things. Let me give you a story, because you are also marketing, right? You are with no kill. How is it called? Kill your agency.
Yeah. That's one now. It's one of my slogans. Kill your agency.
So we only have one person on marketing. Okay. We don't hire marketing agencies as traffic, social media management, etc. At the beginning of the year, this year, I told the team we will be the main reference in Portugal for AI. Okay, we were 6 at the time. Now we are 14. We will end up the year potentially with 20, but at the time we were 6, only one person in marketing. And we said we will give lectures at 140 events during the year.
Okay.
That is one every other day. Okay.
Wow.
We will be the top authority, etc. We put a series of milestones. At the moment, people said, the team said, like, you are crazy. You cannot be on a stage every other day, right?
Yeah, sounds not very realistic, but
but then we automated the whole PR process. Finding events, pitching to those events that we are the right speaker to be there, sending the emails, the follow-up, etc. We managed to have the 140 events in June. So
wow, congratulations!
Without any agency, only automating this kind of stuff.
Yeah, and only to invest time into building up this process, and then it's running.
Yeah, like a few days building up the process to search the emails, to search the events that is going to happen. We did the same thing with PR, with press releases.
Yeah, okay. And then, for example, I asked ChatGPT, what company should I go to prepare my podcast? And they told me it's you.
Exactly.
Yes, and this data is also coming from...
Yeah. Why does that happen? Because we have bots that every day ask ChatGPT the questions that our customers make to ChatGPT. We see what references ChatGPT is using to ground their responses, and then we automatically build blog posts for those references.
Okay, so you're also helping, with this way, you're doing a kind of SEO stuff for ChatGPT and Perplexity to ask.
Yeah, and we simulate thousands of conversations per day that our customers could have with ChatGPT. We see which articles, which blogs they are referencing, which websites, and we make sure we are positioned there.
Wow.
We find guests to our podcast automatically based on what who is going to which podcast. We are monitoring that, and that they get an invite
Wow.
automatically. We are producing content automatically. We are producing newsletters automatically. We only have one person on our marketing team. Only one
That's
person.
nice.
Yeah, and we can reach that scale. And that's only a possibility with AI. So now, if you're an entrepreneur and you're starting a company, how much money would you need to invest to have a team of PR, to have a team of social media, to have a team of traffic generation, right? A team of out. Now you can do it. You just stop for a week, right? Think about the process, what you want to do. You automate it, and then you can have the same skill that a massive company has.
Yes. But this way doing PR and SEO is very interesting. After the podcast, we have to talk about, because I'm receiving minimum 2 requests per week where people are asking me, what can I do to get more into ChatGPT and Perplexity to be this answer?
40% of the clients we closed in the last 6 months came from ChatGPT.
Yeah, the biggest difference is Google, for example, they are using their positions to build up more trust. So your questions. But ChatGPT, most of the people give a lot of trust into the decisions and suggestions. Yeah. And this is like another way. So if ChatGPT is suggesting this means there's trust behind. And trust in marketing is one of the most important things to get a real conversation, not only to receive traffic.
Of course. Yeah, and the leads that come from ChatGPT are much more, ready to buy than the ones that come from Google or from an Instagram campaign or whatever. They are already ready to buy. That doesn't seem that it's all about marketing. You also need to deliver to keep this presence, this good brand, right? But you need to power up your reach, right?
Yes, no, but it's a massive and very important instrument to implement, because this is the future. All the search engines are preparing for this, and now we see that with Comet, for example, and OpenAI, they are producing their own web browsers. So perhaps in the future we are using AI browsers where AI is implemented, and then you're inside of this universe or you're outside.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a real question. There is one problem that I don't know what is going to happen, which is all the business game is about customer acquisition cost versus lifetime value. Right? That's all the game. How can you minimize customer acquisition cost? How can you maximize lifetime value? Sometimes you lose money to gain a customer, right? On the first purchase, just because you have recurrence, and you will gain on the long term. The issue now is ChatGPT and these agents will start making the purchases itself. The agent, not the customer.
Yes.
So the customer will never get to meet you.
Yes.
Right? So how is the business going to balance the customer acquisition cost versus the lifetime value if they never get in touch with the customer, but only with an agent that the customer used to buy the product is a challenge. At the same time, there is a good incentive for these companies to give you the contact of the customer, because you will pay for it as advertisement, and Google makes money from advertisement. It doesn't make money from other forms, right? Same thing for Meta. I believe it will be the same thing for ChatGPT or Perplexity or whatever.
Yeah.
You will pay to get into the top results by ChatGPT, right? In the answer of ChatGPT model.
Properly, for sure.
Yeah.
Because it's away from a community. What was the idea of OpenAI? We are like a community, yes, but to a company that has to become any way of profitable. I mean, we're far away from this. So that's, it's an important approach, I think so. And perhaps in the future, there is a possibility that my bot is talking with the other bot, and then you will find a contract. So there is no sales process involved.
Yeah, and then who is liable for that contract?
Right? But I would like to go back to the SEO topic.
Okay.
I mean, with this, you can own the market if you're an expert into this. I saw that NVIDIA, for example, is looking for engineers, and they are paying millions of salary. I never saw salaries like that. And they are not able to find the people, even not for the salary. You are here working with these experts and doing this next generation stuff. How is it here in Portugal?
It's challenging,
Comparing to
right?
this.
Yeah, it's challenging. It's also challenging not to work with them, not to work for them, right? I mean, there is a shortage on talent for AI.
Yes.
At the same time, for things like automation, etc., the talent pool became larger because nowadays more people can master AI, at least at a usage point, not at a training models point. But as I said, we are moving from large companies into small ones, and for small ones, more than training our own models, we want just to analyze the process and to be able to automate it from one point to the other. So it's not like a very niche domain as these people like NVIDIA need, which is people that can train these models. We are mostly focused on people that can understand a business, identify the pain of the business, and think about a process that could match that business. So in that part, we are not that. There is not such a shortage as it is on training AI models. So we are fine on that part, at least for now.
Okay, yeah, because this was the first question I asked myself, because I saw on your website that you're also engineering, you're doing this engineering part.
We still train AI models.
I saw what NVIDIA, what companies are looking for, I mean, like Meta, all the companies, and the salaries, it's like working 1 year and that's it. So, why you should be in Europe and bringing up AI instead of being onto this place where it's happening now.
So these companies are hiring like the top engineers, right, for millions or billions.
Yeah.
But at the same time, as I said, nowadays AI is much more democratized, right? So and that means that I don't need to spend a year to train a model to detect cancer, right? I can simply ask a vision LLM, like, if the patient has cancer or not, that the performance will be as good as the other one. Which means that a lot of companies that employed a lot of data scientists are now fighting them, right? Because now they don't need 1,000 data scientists, they need 10 data scientists. Because they don't need to over-engineer the whole computer vision natural language pipeline. Right.
So they are looking more for like this kind of unicorns in the market. They are able to change the future.
Yeah, exactly. And then the other companies that were employing a lot of data scientists, data engineers, etc., do not need that many nowadays. So I guess the market is going more to the tails. Like the top ones are going for millions of dollars to these top companies, but then the ones in the middle are being displaced to other areas because there is not such a large demand for talent like training a computer vision model. Right.
Okay, I understand.
That's my perception.
Yeah, for sure. But it's interesting. A lot of people in my community are CMOs, marketing experts, and some of them asked me, what can I change in my position, what I can learn now to be prepared for the future or to increase my salary chances, changing to another company.
For a CMO, it's easy, right? Because the CMO is already, or at least they should be already making strategic decisions, right? And then the operations is AI, the one that implements it, right? So you don't need the juniors.
Okay. Yeah. Okay?
So for a person that is on a C-level or a head position, it's okay because they can just leverage AI to upscale their capacity.
Okay.
For a junior, it's more challenging.
Yes.
Because the junior nowadays is as competent as AI.
Yes.
Right. So I don't know how we are going to upskill junior people in the future.
Okay.
Nowadays I'm hiring more senior people than junior people because the junior people give me the same performance as an AI model.
For sure. And if you don't have the experience, you can give a value into this, then it's difficult.
So I believe one challenge we will have on the job market is not so much for senior people, but how we are going to train juniors. Because if we don't give a chance to juniors, then we won't have senior people in 10 years, right?
Yeah, for sure. So this will be a big challenge, I think so. To bring them up, because for them it's also it's important that it's attractive to go into marketing. Because I don't know how it's in Portugal, but in Germany there are not so many opportunities to study this kind of marketing. It's more general approach, but going more into a practical thing, there's nothing. You can learn it by practice. And for this, you need a company who gives you the chance to work for them.
Or you need to take an entrepreneurial journey.
Oh, yes, but we can't, not all of us can be an entrepreneur or not.
Maybe in the future we will.
At the moment, it's not.
But maybe in the future we will be able to do it, right?
So more smaller companies.
Yeah, maybe. So Sam Altman says that we will have a one-person unicorn, right? At some point. Right?
Yes.
That's his prediction. So if you have massive unemployment because everything is automated, then it's very easy to start a company, because you don't need to hire a marketing agency, you don't need to hire a legal agency, you don't need to hire a software agency. You can do all of those tasks. Then those people that will have extra time will be able to be entrepreneurs at a very low cost. Right? They only need to pay for ChatGPT or for. So people will start just finding problems, maybe problems to solve, and then the AI will execute the problem.
It. Ah, okay. This is also an approach, yes. But on the other side, with data, you also can find easier problems.
Yeah.
So it's an approach, but I think we will have specific solutions for finding problems. Because everything is about data. A lot of my clients are coming from the industry, and they are already connecting their machines to data warehouses. So every sensor, every step in the company, they are making it with a video, graphic, everything is counted, and with this data, you can find better problems instead of somebody is going around and see, we should improve this process.
Yeah, but in the end, I mean, I don't treat my employees as people. I treat them as a team, each one of them.
Nice.
So each one of them is a team nowadays because they have AI, right? So if I have a project manager, I assume that I have a project manager that is also a legal expert, that is also a marketing expert, because even if they know something, they can go there 15 minutes and learn about it, right?
Okay.
So yes, we will have more areas where we will need new tasks, new decisions, etc. But I believe humans will need to rethink themselves, not as a vertical profile that knows about one single thing, but as an expert on one area that has a team of people working for him, which are AI agents, right?
Yeah.
So I believe the future of work is more like that. When I ask something to one of my team members, I'm not asking for a person. I am asking for that person empowered by all the human knowledge.
Yes.
At their fingerprints, right? So
yes.
And that's the way I think the job market will change in the future. People will need to stop thinking about themselves as individuals and more as micro agencies, right?
Yeah, but this is a nice approach, a way to thinking, yes?
Yeah, that's at least how I'm structuring my thinking and how I'm thinking about people as well. Okay. When I asked Noelia, which is our marketing person, I don't think about her as our CMO. I'm thinking about her as a CMO, PR, social media, right? Because she can automate all of it, right?
The rest, yes.
Yeah.
But this is also, again, the topic that you need more a senior position.
Yeah.
Because you are automating the position, they are usually hired under the senior position.
Exactly.
Because you don't need them anymore.
Yeah. How you train people, how you educate kids, those are like questions. Like education is a critical problem, right? Like we learn more from failing than from succeeding, and now we are failing less because of AI.
Oh, yes.
We're making less mistakes.
And it's also the way how we are thinking it's changing. I ask a tool before for a prediction to make less mistakes.
Yeah, exactly.
And
you learn from mistakes. AI learns from mistakes. So if we are not making that many mistakes, how fast can we learn as humans? That's an open challenge in the future. For sure.
Yeah, I agree. I think this will also be quite a big challenge in the future. I have always some clients, they are using AI like not like a tool, more like to play with something, like a toy.
Yeah.
And I see myself in very privileged I don't know, how do you feel about this? That we are more into the future a little bit because we are working with this in our business. But for the most of the people, like also my clients, it's like a nice to have to build up some nice content. But I see AI not like a toy. For the most of the people, it's much more.
Yeah, for most of the people it is, but if you think about smartphones, right? At some point they were more of a toy rather than a tool.
Yes.
So maybe it's a good starting point for somebody to play with it, even if they cannot use it at work. For example, I have a community of entrepreneurs working with AI, and some people in the community say, the company do not allow us to use AI. It's like banking, financials, etc. So they cannot use AI because of privacy concerns, but they are still using it for personal stuff, and that's the first step for them.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Right. There is one book that is, I think it's called Co-Intelligence, where it says like, even if you think AI is stupid today, you still should use it because it will be smarter tomorrow, and it will just become smarter. Unless we get into model collapse. Other than that, it will
okay, good. Then let's see what will happen then. But
so even if you cannot use it at work, you should use it at personal stuff, because for sure at some point your job will require to use AI.
Yes, but for me, is really, my point of view is very dramatical, because at the same point, the people are seeing this as a toy, as a nice to have. People they are working with them are going with a massive tempo, yes, and implementing in the company AI predictive solutions. But it's a massive tempo, and most of the people have no point of view what is happening behind the scene. And perhaps when the smartphones came, I was too young to understand this, because I saw the final product.
Yeah, of course.
But now we have the chance to be inside and to have an impact. And what I am asking myself from a senior position, what will be my value in the future?
Maybe nurturing juniors, because that's the open spot, right?
But the AI will be more intelligent than Albert Einstein or somebody else in a couple of months, years. So what is when it's more intelligent, has more experience than me?
There is one issue, which is we haven't solved alignment, right? So most of the time entrepreneurs spend with their teams is aligning their team, right? Because we don't know how to explain the vision in a very concrete way. We don't know how to put a KPI on what does it mean to fulfill our vision, right? And AI models live or they try to maximize a KPI, right? That's what they do. Since we are not good at defining a single number that expresses our goals, right? That means we are still in control of continuously upgrading and updating and guiding the ones that are below us, executing our vision, right? To make sure it doesn't deviate or it doesn't get to. So maybe that's our point. Even if AI is more efficient than us on doing something, you need to tell it what it's that something that you want to build, right? And we are not good at explaining what we want and putting a number to it, right? Which is what AI needs. So even if AI can come from here to here in one day, we don't know where we want to be until we get to that point, or until we start realizing how does the world look like at that point. So maybe our role will be on continuously guiding. Right? Hey, we got to a part. Hey, okay, I told you that we wanted this, and you actually did what I wanted, or what I said, but that is not actually what I want. Okay. So maybe our role will be more as a guiding principle and less as an acting, as an operational position, which still is, again, is the job of the junior, right? The job of the junior is executing, the job of the senior is guiding. So how we are going to train juniors into becoming seniors, that is an open question.
For sure. And also how to it's also more about the quality of experience, data, and how can we collect this when we are not building up new experience. Because it's machine experience then.
Yeah, but still I think we are collecting more experience now than before. For example, yesterday I was talking with a gym owner.
Okay.
And I started asking him, like, let's say somebody subscribes to your free class, right? Here in Portugal, typically they have a free 1 day that you can use to try a gym. What happens from the time that person books that day until the time they arrive? And he said nothing, right? What about if you ask them what are their goals, what they want to achieve on their gym, and the first day they arrive to the gym, their trainer tell them, I know you want to lose weight, I know you want to focus on your legs, I know you want to whatever, here is your plan, right? What about if every time they get into the gym, you send them a message like, kill it, but you can do it, right? Like, what happens if whenever they leave, you tell them like, how was your training? How was it, right? So these are additional data points that we will have that we don't have now.
Yeah, that's correct, right? For sure.
So even though we are losing human-generated data, you are increasing by a lot the amount of data we can collect and the feedback loop we have on that.
Right? Yes. Okay. But on the other side, we also need a human to give feedback to a system. I mean, if I'm training, it's also like, how do I feel with it?
The consumer is giving the feedback.
Yes.
For example, that consumer that is answering to those messages is giving way more feedback than what that gym owner had before.
Yeah,
which is zero touch
for sure.
points.
And I mean, we all know this. If a system is not asking and pushing us to give data into, who has the self-discipline to put data into like a sheet or something? You don't have it. So you have, it's like a way of guidance to collect data to make a better performance finally.
So I believe we are getting much more feedback on many more processes than we had before AI. Even if you are not writing content for social media, there are so many touch points that we have now with AI, where AI is collecting data and using that data to optimize the processes, that I believe we are actually getting more feedback now than before, more human-generated data, even if it's not content, even if it is the fact that you read the message and that you ignore it.
Yes, but it's more like question answer and this way a little bit,
But it has always been that way, right?
Okay, amazing. It's very interesting talking with you. I learned a lot today, especially about the SEO part. This is something I have to focus on too. If there is now a client who has a problem, what is the problem he needs where you have the right solution for? And he should contact you.
Any decision task they have at scale on any area. So any decision that happens on their business, whether it is marketing, sales, operations, that is inefficient, that is where we can automate something and we can optimize that process.
Okay. So just in case, if you have any kind of problems with your efficiency, then you should contact Kelwin, right?
Correct.
So I will put under the video the contact data of this amazing guy, and you can contact him and he will help you, I'm sure.
For sure.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.